Devon was at the heart of Edwardian Britain's fishing industry. Trawlers, the most powerful fishing vessels of the day, were invented there, and over 10,000 tons of fish were landed in Devon's ports each year. Many of the ships employed casual deckhands, and Devon farmers could earn extra money during the quiet months on the farm. Peter and Alex will be working for Paul Welsh, owner and skipper of the Key Wading, a traditional sailing trawler. Paul, an experienced sailor, bought the Key Wading to realise his dream of trawling the seas by sail, and this will be his first opportunity to give it a go. He's taking out a crew of 7 in search of a catch and has put the boys straight to work.
One job on the boat is just to lubricate these lanyards so that they pass through the dead ice smoothly. And basically we've got some of the lanolin that Ruth has extracted from sheep's fleeces. It's in a sort of grease form.
Is this the sort of thing you're looking for?
Yep, that'll do the job. That's perfect.
OK, what's the first
At
job?
Paul's request, Alex has brought along the rope he made. It'll be put to good use, holding in place the tiller, which steers the ship.
You can actually sit back on the rope, pull it tight, pull it tight, and actually come to sit but lean back on it. But you'll see when we're sailing, you'll see the purpose of it.
Excellent. And it just means that when we're out sailing and we've really got some wind in the sails, I've got a little bit more control here, yeah?
Yeah.
Thanks, there we go.
Painting the trawler with tar was a continuous job, and today it's Peter's turn.
And what does this do for the boat?
It's preserve the wood. It's the rainwater that's the worst thing for the wood. The seawater is better preservative. The more we go sailing, the better preserved the boat gets. A lot of boats sit up creeks and rot faster than boats that spend all their lives at sea.
This is something I've been really looking forward to. This whole idea that as a farmer in Edwardian Britain, down in this part of the country, not only would you be working the land, but you'd also be getting out to sea.
2-6, heave! 2-6, heave!
With the maintenance done, it's time for the hard work to begin. Preparing the ship to sail. Built in 1913, the 80-foot-long Key Wading is one of the last sail-powered trawlers left in the UK.
Take the main up.
Heave! 2-6, heave! 2-6, heave!
Time for our first run of the day, I think, Peter.
But before the boys can have a drink, they need to get the trawl net into the water for the first time in 70 years.
I was wondering why you had a large tree on board.
OK, that's the beam, and that's hopefully going to hold the fish net open.
Right. This is a job we could lose your fingers. This beam flips back, it can jam you up. Feet in the rigging, over you go. It's dangerous stuff, this. Down it goes.
As the trawl net descends, it's vital that the wind stays high to keep the boat moving forwards. It's this motion that holds the mouth of the net open. If the wind drops, the net could tangle and they'll catch nothing. The boys are struggling out at sea.
So we've got the net dropped, but we've just got this massive problem. It's the wind, it's just died on us. The thing is, without the wind, you know, we've got no power source. And it's only when we get momentum with the boat that we'll actually start to drag the net.
Away from the farm, you think, you know, maybe you don't have to depend on the weather. But once again, it's a process that's all weather dependent.
Yeah.
In the Edwardian era, trawling was revolutionised by steam power. These powerful new trawlers were capable of pulling in up to 8 times as many fish and spelt the end for trawling under sail. Alex is beginning to see why.
Daylight today, we're struggling. You know, we're struggling with the wind. So when steam comes along, you can imagine what fishermen would have been thinking. Can they get the money together to invest?
But being far from a ready supply of coal, Devon was slow to adopt this new technology. Its trawling fleet started to get left behind.
And a lot of the sailors of these boats said, look, if you stick to the sailing smacks, you won't decimate the cod stocks in the North Sea, and it would have been probably remained sustainable. But obviously money came in, and the steam drifters caught more fish on calm days. And
So steam fishing meant that you could virtually fish in any conditions, whereas sailing you could only go out with the right wind. So what you're saying is that actually steam fishing affected the stocks around the British Isles.
yeah.
Steam trawling had such an impact on fish stocks that even in the Edwardian period, the North Sea was showing signs of overfishing.
We're getting somewhere now. We've got a little bit of wind. We've got enough, I think.
Finally, there's a change of fortune, and the wind picks up.
It's pulling. That's the important thing, which means we are trawling now. We're now officially trawling.
They're moving through water at 2 knots. The trawl nets should be open and catching fish. Each trawl would have lasted up to 5 hours. It's time to haul in the nets.
This is a device that has changed fishing forever.
In the Edwardian era, this was one job that Devon trawlers did turn to steam for. Steam-powered capstans were used to haul in the catch. To bring it in by hand would have been a back-breaking 3-hour job.
And when you think about a good haul being sort of up to a ton in weight, you can imagine the amount of power that you would need.
And that's just the catch. You're not even taking into consideration the drag of the net on the water and just the sheer weight of the equipment itself.
Yeah. The boat's gone way slack, way out. It's all coming to the surface.
The boat's gone slack. I mean, this is the first time anyone's done this on this boat. It's hard enough putting it out, but it's even harder putting it in. We're going to haul it by hand. You can see the end of it, but it may well be twisted, which is a bad sign.
You need to come and look at it. We've almost entirely lost the wind now, so as the tide's pushing us, we're rolling over the net, so the whole thing's got stuck underneath the boat.
At last, the net comes into view. They still have no idea what it holds.
There you go, leader! Back there.
But there's a problem. That's snagged on something,
So that's snagged.
If it's snagged on something, it was that high off the ground, wasn't it? Off the bottom.
Yeah. It's actually something sticking up, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I reckon. I think it's rough ground.
We've clouted something quite prominent on the seabed, and as a consequence, we've ripped through the net here, scarred the beam, and in all the fiddling around, I think the fish will have scarpered from the net.
For an Edwardian fisherman, this would have been a disaster. No fish meant no pay.
Well, this is our catch, a collection of sea urchins.